Amazing.
Let's see, we got 47 in here. What do you think, TJ? 48 now?
Yeah, I think we can start it off.
All right, let's do it. So, today I want to update you guys a little bit on the marketing and what's going on before we jump in. First and foremost, I hope you all had an awesome weekend. Obviously, there's a lot of exciting things happening around the project, especially with the Everbridge announcement. Um, a couple of weeks ago, when I first came on board, I talked a lot about how there's a bit of foundational groundwork that we need to do and solidify to feed our marketing strategy and primarily focusing on the top of funnel efforts. So here's the update on some general marketing stuff. I think the based off of the conversations I've been seeing in community chat, you'll be excited to hear about some of this. First, we will be condensing everrisecoin.com and everrise.com into one site. We'll, of course, use the everrise.com URL as our primary website. The initial thought for us having them separated was to separate out the token from the dApps, but quite frankly, like we only did that so we can start looking at, marketing on various social media platforms. There's a lot of restrictions and regulations that we're starting to see ad platforms put in around cryptocurrency and crypto projects. So this was even before I came on to marketing. Like it was decided that we would have both separated. But now that we've kind of seen the performance, it actually makes a lot more sense for us to have the sites together because we want to be really clear about where we're driving traffic to as opposed to trying to split it through both sites. And we obviously want to get the token in front of people who are interested in the dApps and vice versa. So that's something that we're working on, and we should be able to launch the new website around mid October. I've been looking at the wireframes with the team. It's all looking really, really awesome. I think this will be the most evolved website we've designed. And from my perspective, it's just going to make a whole lot more sense for SEO. It's going to be fully optimized. And it's really the thing that I'm excited about, and I hope you guys are too, is the fact that we're going to be getting eyes on the token side of the business because at the end of the day, we still are, majority of our revenue is driven via the token. And so that should feed in there. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but with our Everbridge announcement, we did that through a blog post. That's to one, start creating content for the website, as well as SEO optimization and driving website traffic. So moving forward, all announcements will be published to our blog and you guys will be able to access it from the website at any time. And it makes it a lot easier to share the news and updates that we're doing. So as opposed to you having to randomly explain to your friend something that was communicated via Telegram, you'll just be able to send them the link and they'll be able to read it themselves. What else? Still on the topic of blogs. I This has been something that I've always been really excited about. You guys know how, a big thing that we're trying to educate people in this space about is like safety and security, like what to look for in projects, what questions should you be asking. And so we're going to start implementing an educational blog strategy around mid-October to reinforce that and support our position as thought leaders in the space. And I think mid-October will be a great time to launch this because we will have already bridged over to both Polygon and Ethereum. And it's just going to widen the net that we can cast. We're also starting to put plans together around in-person events to educate people who are interested in DeFi and the state of the space. I think this will be really exciting for EverRise. We haven't, as a company and as a brand, we haven't really gone out and done in-person marketing like that before. So it's going to be a huge step up for us and allow us to get face-to-face time with potential future investors, potential developers, and really showcasing the project in a way that just supports the legitimacy of what we're doing and the validation of what we're doing. We're also in the process of having our supply verified on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. This has been something that we've been trying to do. It's actually pretty difficult to get in contact with people over there. But the great thing about having verified supply is we can actually trend on CoinMarketCap and do things like advertise on CoinGecko. So we're in active conversations going back and forth with their team. And I hope that we'll be able to get it done relatively soon. With regards to partnerships, I've mentioned a couple of times before that we have some exciting partnerships coming up. These will obviously be announced in the next couple of weeks, and we're actually aiming to push them concurrently with the EverBridge launch to maximize visibility onto our project. That all will be really exciting. It's funny because in my head, like I have the mental calendar of when things should go live and around at what time. And so I'm kind of thinking about the next, 2, 3 weeks coming up. And I'm excited and I'm also overwhelmed, but it's going to be really good. And I'm excited for you guys to see what we have on that front. More so on the top of my mind is obviously the launching of EverBridge. Tomorrow is a really, really big day for us because we'll be unveiling EverBridge and the UI and really digging into how it works. It's no mistake that the demo is coming out a week earlier than, the actual launch. This is because we need to show that the product works. We saw, with Everown when we went to launch and we went to market, a huge thing was, and a huge hesitation from people was like, well, does it actually work? Are other people utilizing it? So with EverBridge, we're taking a slightly different approach with that. A little information about tomorrow's event. The demo will actually be a pre-recorded video and it will be played live for the first time during the demo event. And then we'll obviously follow that up with an AMA. Immediately following the AMA, that demo video that we are creating will be released to our influencer partners and media and press partners. So they all have the information about the bridge, but none of them have actually seen it yet. So that's really exciting. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm excited and nervous for tomorrow. But I think overall, like looking at the UI and looking at what the team has built, you guys will be pleasantly surprised. And I am proud to say that it is mobile optimized. So there's that. With regards to other things around the launch of EverBridge, our press push will start around September 30th and carry through the launch. Influencer marketing will also start to take off closer to launch once we actually have the DApp to drive people to and to drive trading. These influencers that we're having push EverBridge they were initially going to be used to push Everown. But given the speed that Suresh and the development team were able to complete the bridge, it made a lot more sense for us to kind of hold them off until we announce the bridge. So that's why you guys haven't seen the influencers I've been talking about, but I'm really excited because you guys should start to see them over here in the next 2 weeks. And on top of that, we will also be supporting our efforts with ads targeting potential DeFi investors and looking at places that they'll already be. Launching on Polygon and Ethereum, it opens up 2 new massive audiences for us. So we're looking at things like placing ads on Dex Tools, Etherscan, and CoinGecko, as opposed to, run-of-the-mill ads. We've also looked at various press sites to see how their ads perform. In terms of the cost that they're giving us per impression, it doesn't necessarily make sense, but we'll see. We still have a little bit of time to decide if we want to turn on ads onto press websites, but I'm not too worried about that because we have a pretty solid press plan coming. And I think that about covers it on what I can share with you guys. TJ, did I miss anything?
That was a whole lot of information to take in at once. You did
I
not
know,
miss
I
it.
just ran through that.
No, that was great.
um,
Obviously, you guys can hear there's lots of exciting things in the pipeline. As I've mentioned last time, we're really stepping up our marketing game to target tier one outlets because we're an altcoin, and we need to be treated as such, and the marketing does as well. So, hats off to Jen for a great job lining everything up. We're really excited about the bridge launch. We're the first to create a platform like this, so I mean that speaks for itself. And in a very short amount of time, to a level that it would take a lot of others months, if not years, to create. So, hats off to Titan on that front. Our whole UI team. Um, I'm really excited myself.
so on that note, I think if you guys have questions or have any comments, we'll open the floor and we'll take it from there. I see we have one hand up. Brendan, come on in.
Hey,
How
Brendan,
you
how are you?
doing?
Oh, hey guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for inviting me up. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to chat with the community. Um, I have a strategic question. I'll try to be brief. Um, I was just kind of wondering if you could talk about kind of the goals you have for each individual impression. I guess what I mean is, there's a variety of different investor classes in the BSC space. We've got, people running around trying to make a quick buck. We've got, larger whales who might try to invest 20 BNB. We've also got devs who might want to purchase Everown. So there's a lot of different investor classes that we might target. Since our time and resources are limited, can you speak a little bit about which investor classes you are targeting and what the end goal of that target is, whether it's just buying Rise tokens or buying the dApps or that sort of thing?
Yeah.
So not really a specific question, but just general impressions would be much appreciated.
No, of course. So as I mentioned earlier, majority of our revenue still is driven through the token. And I think what Everbridge is doing, especially since we'll be going across, three different networks with the same supply, it's going to provide a really interesting platform for trading. The entire team is really interested to see how that goes. So in terms of investors, the ultimate goal is obviously to drive traffic on the charts for both Matic and Ethereum. On the Ethereum side, we're still seeing scams and rug pulls and, these coins that do really, really well for like the first week or two, and then they absolutely tank afterwards. And like that still exists on Ethereum. So obviously, those are not the types of investors we want. We want people who see the value of the project, who are interested in what we're building. So obviously, going more towards the serious investors as we've been trying to do on the Binance Smart Chain. Obviously, EverOwn will be available to developers once we launch. It will be available to the Ethereum developers starting on October 5th and Polygon developers on October 8th. We're already starting to, talk to projects on Ethereum about it. And what's really nice is Waso is basically armed with a couple different use cases showing that the product works. I can't really say that we're going to come out of the gate with projects on board, but that's not really going to be the focus of marketing. Like marketing will definitely mention it, as well as the fact that the bridge is going to be open to all projects on all three blockchains if they do want to go cross-chain. We're still sorting out some of the details internally about how that pricing will work, but we're already starting to make efforts in targeting the devs on the respective chains, if that makes sense.
Sure does. LFG, keep killing it. Thank you, guys.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Brennan. We'll open the floor now to Paul. Hey, Paul, how are you? Paul, you might have
Paul.
to unmute your mic.
About that. There we go. Hello.
There you go. Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Great, thank you.
Hey, first I just wanted to say thank y'all for doing these. I know the community really looks forward to it, keeping us updated. I know this is, my question is, it's brand new. I don't know if you can even speak on it yet, but I promised Penny I would ask, do you have any information that you could give us about the testimonial idea that was submitted?
Yeah, so we're actually talking about that internally. I was mentioning to some of the community members that this was actually something that I wanted to implement probably like a week and a half ago. But the concern from us was whether you guys would be open to sharing your stories. So, right now, the way that we're thinking about doing it is anyone who wants to do a video testimonial, they can obviously do that. It would require them doxing. There's, some things that they'll, as individuals, you'll have to take into consideration if you do plan on doing that. But what we're also going to do is have it in a text and written format that we will probably do in the form of a blog post and create like a weekly or bi-weekly series where we feature and showcase stories from the community. So incorporating maybe one or two video testimonials in there, as well as just text stories. So that way we can open it up to everyone and anyone in the community. I think logistically, the only thing that I need to figure out is the best way for you guys to submit that information. Potentially in the form, potentially a type form, but I want it to be like a conversation. So it could even be I'll get an interest list and I'll talk to each one of you guys individually and get your stories. I love stories. My background is in content storytelling and brand development. So it's right up my alley. There will probably be a couple more updates on it closer to end of the week or over the weekend, just because there are some other things that we're getting in place for the launch of EverBridge.
Awesome. Thanks. Sounds good. Thank you.
No problem.
Joey, we'll open the floor to you.
Hey, Joey, how's it going?
Good afternoon or morning or night. I have two questions if it's at all possible. First, I understand that EverBridge is its own independent DApp, but is it okay to, basically, is Everown going to be available on the Ethereum chain and Poly retroactively or a separate rollout after?
It'll be available for Ethereum the day that we launch the bridge, and then for Poly on the 8th. So 3 days after we launch the bridge.
Awesome. That's sooner than I expected.
Yeah.
And then, the other question is with the focus on search engine optimization to generate more traffic, has there been any thought into marketing tools for projects using the EverRise ecosystem? Something not like, but not limited to ad space or even graphic rotating, highlighting projects that are using this ecosystem?
Yeah, so we probably won't sell ad space on our website. I don't think it makes sense, but I do know, long term for Everown, we were thinking we would have like featured project spaces. There was like some talk about, that potentially being like a paid promotion opportunity. And there was also some talk about like, let's just feature and highlight the projects by the strength of their communities. So I think down the line, yes, we could potentially see something like that on the DApp website. In terms of our actual website, I can't really speak about this publicly, but in terms of the details, but we have started to kind of put together additional marketing opportunities for the partners and projects that come onto EverOwn that would contribute to our website's SEO.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Of course. Thank you.
Awesome. I don't see any more questions right now. If you have a question, feel free to raise your hand. We'll open the floor to you.
Man, I must have done like an information overload at the beginning.
Yes, definitely. I see Garen requested. Welcome back, Aaron. How are you today?
I'm pretty good, thank you. How are you guys?
We're doing great.
Excellent, excellent. So yeah, my question would be, now that Titan has finished construction on the bridge, what is he working on next?
I don't know if we can get into that. We're working on a ton of things behind the scenes, a lot of which we don't want to announce before they're ready to go. Like, for example, we were working on EverBridge and we didn't say anything until it was ready. So you never know what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, this man never stops working. So
Okay.
that's where I'm going to leave that one.
The
But
good news,
you're in good hands with him.
I was going to say the good news is, and I know we can't say this publicly because I've heard Suresh say it publicly, but as you guys know, most of our dApps in terms of the back end, it's done. They're ready. It's just more of completing the front end design and making sure the user design is friendly. So stay tuned on that front.
I hear you. Yeah, I know. I do remember that very clearly, him saying that the back end is done. So I know. No, I asked because he did do a survey at one point as well to see what people are interested in developing first and priorities. So I figured, he's probably on to the next one already. So I wonder which one it would be.
Which one do you think it is?
Well, which one I'm hoping would be the wallet for sure, the Ever wallet.
I have no comment, but good to know.
No comment either.
Definitely excited to get my hands on the Ever wallet.
You and me both.
All right. Well, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Aaron.
Thanks for the
Talk to
hard
you
work,
next.
guys. Yeah.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Bye.
And then just real quick, for those of you guys who don't know what EverWallet is, EverWallet will essentially be an extension of MetaMask or Trust Wallet, where you'll be able to secure coins on the blockchain.
Awesome. JR, the floor is yours. Welcome back.
Hey, how's it going, guys? My question is simple, and I don't know if you guys have had internal discussions about it or not, whether or not there would be a Rise holding requirement for EverWallet. That's all I got.
Jen, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think we did discuss that, and there is some sort of requirement to hold Rise to use it.
Yes. It's probably a minimum. We haven't determined the specific or exact numbers yet, but our ecosystem feeds Rise and Rise feeds the ecosystem. It's very much a symbiotic relationship.
So you can count on anything that we release will rely on Rise token in some form or another.
And then you take that and you pair it with the fact that we'll have Rise pairs on Ethereum and Matic, and still one supply. It's pretty exciting.
I mean, I might be a little biased, but name another project pumping out successful working dApps like we are that actually make a change and haven't been done before. I'm just blown away every day when I see how Titan works, what he creates, how quickly he does things, and it's a lot of the time people rush things and then nothing works properly. But I mean, all his I's are dotted and all his T's are crossed. He's a brilliant man.
and super detail oriented. Fun fact.
Big time. Keith, I see you have a question. Just unmuted you.
Hey Keith, how you doing?
Good, thanks. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for doing this once again. I know, Jen, you and I had talked about the video testimonial thing previously, and I just wanted to put out there, I was wondering if you thought maybe about doing it more as like an interview style, where it's more like questions that you provide, and maybe the videos are a bit more targeted.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I meant by in terms of like figuring out the logistics of how we want to pull this off. That if I could have just like an interest list, I would probably kick off one-on-one conversations.
Okay.
And I think part of that would be if they wanted to do a video testimonial, it would be a conversation with me and we would edit myself out. But at least that way it feels like they're actually talking to a person, and it just prompts more genuine responses
Yeah.
I've found.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay, great.
Yeah, I'll be in touch. Like I would love to get your thoughts on some of this, and maybe I can start a group with you and Penny and we can chat a little bit more.
Totally. Yeah. I'd be interested in that for sure. Thank you.
Awesome. Of course, thank you. EverRise King, come on up. Looks like EverRise King is still connecting. I hope I don't butcher.
I took the risk for you.
Yeah,
Adrian, I don't know if that's how you pronounce that, but the floor is yours.
Who did you say?
You, my friend.
Okay,
How do
I,
you pronounce your name there?
Adrian.
Perfect. Adrian, how are you?
I'm doing great. You?
Great. Thank you.
Okay, my question. I don't really know if it's a question for y'all or maybe Suresh, but like on our Everon, it shows all the people that's using Everon, and then it also has on the bottom where people who have applied. My opinion is I don't think we really need to put the who has applied, because they could actually come in and use our community to pump their coin, and then don't even use EverRise. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, is there a way that he could just take the people that are applying off and just have the people that actually use our product?
So the way that I see it is that I don't have a problem showing who applied, but I would be careful if you want to purchase any other token that actually hasn't been verified yet on our platform. There's a reason that the sections are separated. And another thing to keep an eye out for is you can see a little lock and an unlock beside the contracts that have registered for Everone and been verified. So if something is unlocked, they've taken their contract back. So remember to keep that in mind. But as far as actually having the pending contracts below, I don't think there's a big issue. Personally, I don't know if Jen, you have a different opinion there, but I mean, obviously, do your due diligence and do your own research, and you know that if it's pending, we haven't verified it yet. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I'm also pretty sure that if it's pending, they've paid the fee. Is that correct, TJ?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Agent. Appreciate it. Rise King, I see you requested again. We'll give it another shot.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Good morning, or almost good night, or whatever time it is in around the world for you guys. First of all, I'd like to say thanks, Jen and Lord DJ for putting on another AMA, which is obviously fantastic for us. So many familiar people in here, which is great. Obviously, I'm pretty stoked about bridges, and yeah, I can't wait for all that to happen. Last night I had a bit of a talk with Penny. We are just on voice chat together, and yeah, so we just we talk about different things. For me, I'm in a good spot where EverRise is right now, and all the D apps coming out. Believe in the team. I see Titan's vision as well. The only thing I'd like you guys, especially probably maybe you could answer this, Lord TJ yourself, is volume is obviously quite important. And I think I don't know. For me, I feel like we're almost outgrowing the PSC space in terms of our direction and the way some people or big investors perhaps look at us. So I think Bridges is definitely going to help with that. But I wanted to know, will we be looking perhaps at a tier one exchange in the future, or do you think the way we're rolling at the moment with the D apps coming out, Bridges, we're just going to see what happens there, and then maybe have another discussion later on down the track?
Yeah, so I mean, with tier one exchanges, they won't list the coin without utility. So what we're doing right now is we're building our foundation with the D apps. So getting everything out and available to the public and being actually used by other projects is going to help us a lot with tier one listings. Absolutely, that's on our roadmap. We want to be on every tier one exchange. It's just a
Yeah,
matter of time. It's sorry, not a matter of time. It's a matter of not rushing it and doing everything right, and doing it properly. So we're planting our roots right now. We're making sure everything is in order, so that when we do approach the tier one exchanges, can't say if we have or have not yet, but when we do, we have proper backup and ammunition in our corner in order to, you know, counteract any questions that they may have pertaining to having utility.
yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, as a holder, that's probably my biggest question as a bigger holder. Secondly, yeah, I just, I'd like to say, I love the team and I'm, very committed to what I do. I couldn't ask to be better involved in a better team. There's so many good people, so much great support, and Jen's hopped on board, and I can feel her passion as well. And yeah, I mean, I do little competitions here and there. I'd rather do them in-house because I just love all you guys, and I know where we're going. So I appreciate your time, guys, and I'll let somebody else up and have a chat. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing and keep smashing the team. Let's go.
Thanks a ton, King. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. I'll speak to that a little bit. I love our team. We took a long time to kind of handpick everybody on it. From core to staff to mods. I mean, I think our team right now that we have is second to none, and it's a pleasure being able to work with everybody every day. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, thank you. Like, and TJ, I honestly I couldn't agree more. I think we're set up to go long, We're here to stay. We're not going anywhere. Like, we know the potential of this project. We know the potential of what we're building, and we're making steps every day to make sure everyone else sees that potential and they can start seeing real life use case.
Yeah, and the majority of us have quit our full-time jobs to work on Rise full-time, which is needed. So the fact that, each of us individually were willing to take that leap shows the promise of EverRise, I think. I mean, Jen, you're the most recent to do this, so you can speak to that point.
Yeah, it's been a little crazy. So I quit my job, fun fact. just given the nature of the work that I was doing, I am in a period where I'm still transitioning out, but this is, it's just part of the grind. Like I'm spending at least 12 hours on EverRise and then 4 hours doing everything else that I'm supposed to do to help transition out of my job and to just make sure that I'm not leaving my clients hanging. So I'm usually up by like 5 a.m. my time and in bed sometimes 9 p.m., sometimes 11:30 p.m. It just depends, but you guys can ask TJ. We're on the opposite coast of each other, but I'm pretty sure he sees me on all the time because I'm always messaging him.
You sure are, and please continue.
Of course, I love our chats too much not to.
For real, and that's a big thing too. Like when you have a team and you have a company and everybody gets along, they like working more. Like they enjoy coming to work and they're more motivated, and that's what we have here on our staff. So I think that helps a lot. We get up every single day. We're motivated to grow. We're motivated to keep building, keep expanding. So kudos
Yep.
to everybody. And
What
that also goes back to the community. I mean, the community is what makes us thrive, and the constant
beautiful.
belief in us and what we're doing and the community support is great. I mean, I know obviously the time that we're in right now compared to when we launched in June, we're in a very different state, and you're seeing BNB go down every day, and everyone predicted a bull market. I mean, I still, not financial advice, I still think it might come towards the end of the year, but the fact that we still have diamond hand holders and people who really believe in what Titan's building and our team here really continues to push us forward. So thank you guys, because we
I
wouldn't
was,
be
I
able
was,
to do it without you.
I was just about to say, I mean, I love you guys that much. If I needed to sell, it would have to be, for a double lung transplant or something like that, or donate to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, which I already do anyway. But I would actually tell you guys because I love you. I'd never do that to the team. So, yeah, you guys have got that promise. I mean, I respect everybody here. That they invest what they can afford, they can afford to lose, but we do go a little bit beyond that because we just love the project and stuff like that and the people involved, which is exactly me. Like, I mean, I just love you guys, and that's why I've invested in EverRise a little bit more differently. But what I was going to say, my second question, and then I'll let people have the floor, is because of our, obviously our voting with Everone and things like that. Some people say about the tier one that we can't do it because of tokenomics and things like that. For me, it's obviously about growth. Maybe we could use, Everone in the future as a voting system for people that do you want to go look at a tier one, or do you really want the tokenomics coming through? We could probably use that function when that comes along to see what people think in the community. So I think we'll just see how things go. But yeah, I'm just going to leave it up to you guys. I'm good at what I do, which is nothing, my wife thinks, and I'll let you go. She thinks I'm good at spending money on EverRise, and I'll let you guys, the champions, do what you do best. But I really love you guys, and I'll let somebody else have a chat because I've just taken up way too much of your time. Thank you.
Not at all. Thank you very much. And it's great, honestly, to hear this stuff. Especially when you're working so hard every day. It's kind of great to hear this stuff, and it gives us more of a motivational push, if you will. So, thank you, King.
All right, James, I see you had your hand up. You now have the floor.
Hi, guys. Hey, I was just wondering, like, what type of marketing or have you had any interest on these other two chains that we're bridging over to? Like, what's the interest that you've gotten back from the other two chains?
Yeah, so we've been talking a lot with not only Polygon, the project, but also starting to get a little bit more immersed in their community just to see what it's like. I've been spending some time in their Discord and just chatting with people and poking around. From what I'm seeing on Twitter, a lot of Polygon people are excited that we're coming. They're, it's so funny. They're tweeting our own blog announcement, which is really awesome because that wasn't prompted at all from our end. In terms of Ethereum, thankfully, we have someone like Waso who comes from that world with Hoj, and we're making strides. We're starting to kick off conversations. Like I said, the ads that we're going to be doing and some of the media pushes that we'll be doing will be focused on the Polygon and Ethereum communities and going where they're already at. So looking at like Etherscan, DEX tools, CoinGecko. We obviously don't want to completely neglect the BSC side. So I'm just trying to find a strong balance where I'm able to give all three chains the love that they need, but that makes sense within the budget that we have.
Great. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Like I said, with this project, it's a great project. You guys, everybody's been great. It's one of the few projects I've seen that everybody is they engage the community. I've been in some where you don't even know who the developer is, or they never come in, talk to anybody. So I know prices and everything's been dropping, market cap, but it's one of the only projects that I have no worries about at all. But thank you guys for everything you do for the project and all your investors.
Thank you. That means a lot to us.
Thanks, Jay.
We're here to build, and we're here to build blockchain solutions, and that's what we're going to do. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm fine. Hey, I got a question, and this probably has been answered. I just came in maybe like 10, 15 minutes ago. I think I understand the concept of the minting of the tokens for Ethereum and Polygon, and I'm kind of new to crypto. So I guess my question is, as far as the supply across all three chains, is it going to still be a quadrillion in total, or is it going to be a quadrillion for each chain?
So the total circulating supply at any given point across all three chains will be a quadrillion minus whatever is burned across all three chains. The minting of the new tokens on Ethereum and Polygon, those will be locked to the locker to match the supply. So that way, say I have 100 million Rise on Polygon that I want to send to BSC, right? I would send the tokens through the bridge. The bridge would take my 100 million tokens and lock it to the Polygon bridge. And then the BSC bridge would unlock 100 million tokens and send that back to me.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I got a little confused because I was like, is it going to be like 3 quadrillion or whatever? Because it seems pretty high, but it seems like it's going to be the same one quadrillion across all three chains. And then I guess my other question is, as far as like price fluctuates, I know that. I know there's going to be BSC, Ethereum, and Polygon. Is there going to be like a separate conversion price for each, or is there going to be one price, say whatever Rise is trading for?
So this is where I think the arbitration plays in, right? Like if all of a sudden the price on the Ethereum blockchain is significantly higher than Binance Smart Chain and Polygon, we anticipate seeing people transfer their tokens utilizing the bridge over to Ethereum, and eventually like the price equates out because it's going to cause trading on both sides. Like if the price is high on Ethereum, some people may go, oh, the price is lower on Binance Smart Chain. I'll buy on Binance Smart Chain and then transfer the tokens over to Ethereum. And really, like, I would say Alex is the more technical person who can explain the charts and exactly how the arbitration works. But eventually, it should all even out, kind of like how we see on the exchanges that we're currently listed on.
Okay. Yeah, that was all my questions. I just, was wondering about that.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad we were able to clear some things up.
Appreciate you guys. And by the way, you guys are doing a great job as well.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Hal.
Yeah, guys, 3 chains, 1 supply, 3 buyback functions. Like, it's all gonna contribute towards that 1 quadrillion supply minus whatever gets burned across all 3 chains.
Hundreds in the chat, I see. Obviously, that's this hasn't really been done before, so we're really excited. I mean, the most exciting part of being involved in EverRise is the innovation that hasn't been achieved yet, and we're the first to do that.
Yeah, I can it's really funny. I was explaining this to my partner because obviously leaving, my career that I've built and, setting aside clients that I've had relationship with for years wasn't an easy choice. And, because basically you have to imagine from her perspective, she knows nothing about crypto and DeFi and all of that stuff. And when I kind of started to talk to her about the opportunity, she's like, wait, what? You're going to do what? And I started to explain a little bit more about what exactly EverRise is. And it really boiled down to the fact that I'm like, it feels like I'm able to build something and be a part of something that's so much bigger than myself and help build products and technology that's going to contribute to this industry for years to come. And that gets me really excited. I worked in virtual reality for a really long time. I dropped out of college to go do that. And I helped pioneer that space in a lot of different ways. And I have the exact same feeling that I have about EverRise when I went to go work on VR. And that was honestly one of the best decisions of my life. And so just kind of like talking about what we were saying earlier about how exciting it is to be working with such an amazing team and how we've left our jobs. Like, for me, it's really this opportunity to make something, and it's incredible to see Suresh code so many products so quickly that actually work. There's so many startup companies that I've either consulted with or did some brand work with, and they have 10 engineers and they're like, oh, we're still working on our MVP product, and they're in that phase for years. Like, what, EverRise is a little over 3 months old and we're about to release our second product. It's huge.
Massive. That said, we're getting close to the bottom of the hour. Are there any other questions at the moment?
I mean, if people want to just chat freely for the next 10 minutes, we can open the floor and see how many speakers we can get up here.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to have a little roundtable discussion amongst ourselves, feel free to unmute your mic. Request to speak.
Hi, I'd like to say thank you for all the things that you've done, guys. One quick question.
Yep.
Now that we're bridging Ethereum and Matic, is there a plan or like something's going on to bridge somewhere else other than the two, or just we're waiting and see what's gonna happen for the bridge that we built for the two chain?
We can't say anything on that. But
That
what I
makes me
will
excited when you say like that.
But what I will say is Titan did say if we want it, we'll build it. So stay tuned.
Okay, thank you so much. That's all.
No problem. Thanks, Lance.
All right, guys, I'm going to go again. One more, and then I promise I'm going to leave everybody alone. Okay? You ready for it?
Let's go.
Ready.
All right, here we go. Um, just with EverRise itself, like I spent so many hours, I was heavily involved in something else, which everyone probably already knows. And I made a post today actually, that I saw actually Titan's vision. You know, I had clothing of the other company, I had this, I had that. You know, my kids were running around saying the name, and now it's just all EverRise, EverRise, EverRise. And for me to make decisions in my life, it's always been I've got to be like 1,000% sure. It doesn't matter if I buy a $5 top or I buy my daughter a Barbie dream house. I've got to make sure it's the best one. I've got to make sure it's going to last the longest, and I've got to go with my gut feeling. So it's not even a price situation. So EverRise just hit me, you know, in the heart, and I just felt it. And when I feel things, I do it. And, you know, I've been in real estate for so long, and with my health condition and stuff like that, I've always backed myself, and I back myself to the hills with EverRise. One of the things that I did like, which was very appealing to me, which I do write in post, I don't know if people notice, is Titan is the developer, he's the founder and the CEO, and shit just simply gets done. You know, other people, other CEOs, they might not be the CEO, but they're called the CEO. They've got to wait on other people. Is things built yet? How long, you know, how much time do we have left? You know, we promised that this was going to happen, and it hasn't happened, and it gets pushed back. But with Suresh and our team, we're just getting it done. And that's all credits to not only Suresh, but, you know, the team as well. And I'm just so confident. Like Bridges, you know, like where the heck did that come from? I'm so involved in EverRise, and it just hit me. Like there was no talk about it. It was just done. Like other people were pumping Bridges for you know, for 2 months before anything was even close. So yeah, that's the difference between EverRise and whoever else you want to say. We simply got the best team. You know, if you want to look at an all-star team or the Chicago Bulls of the 90s, we are the best team in the BSC space by far, and we deserve to be recognized for that. And this is our time to branch out and show the world just how good we are. Love you all, and again, that is the last time. I promise. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, Australian time, and I'm absolutely super pumped, and I'm even gonna do another post before I go to bed. So, thanks, guys.
Thank you, and thanks for the grind. I feel that, and I appreciate it.
Since we're in a round table format, I'll just take this opportunity to remind everyone, as not only crypto, but EverRise and the stock market and every equity is down, that if you believe crypto is going to exist and thrive in 10 years, then you want to look for projects that are aiming at longevity. And no small market cap crypto that I've seen is pointed at longevity in the way EverRise is. I can count 5 great minds off the top of my head that are clearly not going anywhere. Between Jen and TJ and Wasso and Guard and Titan, these are 5 serious people, and they're not going anywhere. So for those of you that are out there looking at the chart and feeling down, remember that this will look very flat in a few years, and we'll all look back on this Twitter space, and you can quote me. You're going to be in a very special place if you just hold. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brendan. That means a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Anyone else want to come up? TJ, I think they just want to hear about how much I miss you and how we don't talk enough.
Do they?
I don't know. I guess.
Well, Jen, the floor is yours. Next week, guys, we'll have Wasso back. So I'm looking forward to that. I miss hearing his voice, but he's in Zimbabwe right now on the beach.
Oh, you guys should see the photos he's sending. They're beautiful.
Stunning.
Man is working on the beach, messaging TJ and I.
Living the life. Reflection, I unmuted you. Feel free to chat as soon as you connect.
What's up, guys? Man, the chat is so positive right now. I was afraid to ask my question because everything looks so nice and everything's going so well. I just wanted to ask it in a way where is the marketing, all right, is there a way to emphasize that the security of Everone is not solely being a partner of Everone, but it's that you are a partner of Everone and that your contract is locked? Because I don't know if it's a feeling or maybe it's just I'm just going a little crazy here, but I think people might be thinking that if they're not the tokens necessarily that are in Everone currently, but in the future, that just by your token being in Everone means you're safe or you're free from certain things. But there's the stress is that it's in Everone and it's locked, right? I'm not going crazy, am I?
No,
you're not.
You're not going crazy at all. We've actually have been reworking our internal messaging to really emphasize the fact that if they're utilizing Everone, they're securing their contract. Definitely moving away from renouncement language because it is about the security and it's about locking the contract and the safety. So you're pretty spot on there. Reflection, did that answer your question?
Sorry, yes, it did. It did. I'm at work, so I'm just like in and out.
Oh, no worries. I love the commitment. Awesome, guys. Anything else? Anyone wanna? It looks like we have a few more spots if anyone wants to slot in for the last 2 minutes.
Humanoid, I see you requested. Hey, Humanoid, how are you?
My mic's on?
Yes,
Your
sir.
mic's on.
It cuts me off. I'm on headset. It cuts me off whenever I go to open up the mic. But no, I mean that hit me and gave me goosebumps when you're talking about that. On October 5th, history will be made. Like this will be the first project that the tokenomics has to open up 3 separate bridges.
That we built ourselves, might I add.
I mean, that's insane. I mean, because I usually tone out so that way I don't think about things or worry or whatever and just kind of let things fly. You know, I think that's the best way to invest. Find something you believe in and just kind of tone it out. But I mean, good golly, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Like that's extremely special.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm super proud to just be working on this project and have been given the opportunity to make the BSC and now ETH and Polygon space safer for everybody. And I mean, that's just 3 months in. Imagine where we're going to be in a year. So,
yeah, I just got 100 times more excited about the 5th now. Appreciate it.
I love that.
We love it. 3 chains, 1 supply.
Yeah.
How much fun are we gonna have?
I'll be coming back home. To the Ethereum team.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, this AMA will be available on YouTube. Kudos to Jason and shout out to Jason for always making sure our content is getting out there. And I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day and an awesome rest of your week. We look forward to bringing more updates and announcements here soon.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one, everyone.
You can always reach us in Telegram. Our DMs are always open. And let's rise together.
Like Suresh always says, with EverRise, we all rise together. All right,
Love it.
On that note, thanks again. Have a good one.
Take care, guys.